Joe, let's bring this into a real world scenario that they can understand.
Come on.
Because sometimes it's hard to talk about these things and to get people to change their thinking about something without pulling them into another illustration of it. This is why Jesus taught in parables all the time, because he's like, okay, y'all can't see this through your spirit. So let me take you to, the farming or something you do in your everyday life, right? And so let's help them reconsider this through the lens of where we are when we are wanting to lose weight or wanting to change something as it relates to our bodies, right? Let's talk about that. And I know you and I met through that, right? Through, a point in my life where it's like, okay, I'm gonna need a physical trainer in this season. I need some help with my body in this season. And I know you're a trainer. So I think this would be a good to kind of walk them through this through the lens of that to help them understand a little bit more of like what this repentance journey can look like for them so they can change their thinking about it.
Come on. No, man, that's good, man. Yeah, so when we met, I was training. Well, still am training. And the point is this, there was Fat Joe before the trainer. So
Mhm.
there's a journey before the journey that we even met. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Because I just know in 2018, when I started it, my journey, I was 300 pounds. And I had
Mm,
never been that big in my entire life.
mm,
And I just felt hidden.
mm,
I felt like misunderstood. So I think what got me to being Fat Joe was it started how I felt on the inside, and then I eventually just manifested it on the outside. I
oof,
didn't feel seen. I didn't feel heard. I was crying and yelling, but wasn't nobody noticing.
mm,
I'm not from Atlanta, so when I moved here, and then like I started at a new restaurant when I was working at when I first started my journey, like they just knew me as Fat Joe. Like they didn't know that I was, you know, any other way. Which that I had never been that way in my entire life, and so there was no one checking in on me, asking, "Are you okay? Are you are you all right?" So I just felt like hidden. I felt misunderstood. I felt alone.
mm,
Um, yeah, that there was something in me that wanted better, but I just didn't have the tools. And this is somebody who I've never been as big in my life. So I played I played baseball, football, and basketball my entire life. So I knew
mm,
all the things to do, but I just
mm.
couldn't get out of this season. Like I knew the practices to do, but
Oof.
I just couldn't get it going.
That's so good. I'm so glad you paused because I'm like, oh, stop right there because I already hear what we talked about earlier. So there's this phase in your life where what worked before in one season is no longer working. And because it's no longer working, you've put on weight, right? You've added weight to your life. In some ways, maybe unnecessary weight to your life because there's something new that needs to emerge, and whatever was old, the old way of getting there is no longer going to be effective. And so what I feel like I want to ask you is what's the first change your thinking moment that happened that started putting you on the path from that place, from where you were, from where you started, and that feeling you were in? What was the first moment that was like, there's another way? Let me reconsider something.
I think the other way was the first thing was just because it was ironic how I even got a trainer for free. Not
Mm,
ironic, it was God. Let's be clear. And I just started. I me personally, I need to quit my job. I've been at a job for 12 years, and for me, it's like I had to step. It took a leap of faith. I quit my job, so I had nothing but time. So it's like
mm,
I quit my job, and it's like I'm still doing the same things I was doing, but I have more time now. So with that, I start going to the gym, start putting my head down, and then this beautiful couple, they look amazing. They still look amazing. The name's Jay and John, and they came up to me randomly and was like, so I probably lost maybe 10, 15 pounds at this point. Nothing much. Like I was still big. So I'm probably like 285, 290. And they were like, man, we love your heart. like we've been watching you in here, and like you got such a great spirit, and you work hard. So like if you ever want to work out with us, like we come at this time. So whenever you want to, just come on.
Mm,
And with that, it was just the moment to change my thinking was just like people who were in shape, they saw me.
mm,
Like they saw me. So that was the first thing is like I was seen.
mm,
And being seen when you're misunderstood, that changed everything. So me just showing up, not knowing that they were watching me and studying me, and then being able to lean on their faith when I didn't have it. That was
mm,
the thing in the beginning. And then just like wanted to be like want to be a part of it. They saw something in me. So like since y'all saw something in me, let's cook. So
mm.
then so we start moving so we start moving forward like, hey, we come at this time, like whenever you
Can,
want to.
can I pause you for
Yeah,
1 second?
yeah.
I want to, because one, that was significant that someone who was further along than you were saw your spirit, saw your heart posture, and wanted to help you. But I want to go back even slightly before that to something that you said that I think is like you said you quit your job. And I just want to understand where was your head at in terms of that, where you are overweight, you're fat Joe, you put on this weight, and the first decision you make is to leave your job to give yourself more time. So, what was the thought? What happened there that made you say leaving the job is a necessary part in this process?
We started. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. That was
So
a real question, by the way. That's on recording. That was
oh
genuine. Like, yeah, what was that?
yeah, so I left my job because that was giving me the weight.
Mm,
That's where the weight was coming from. And not just, and like I said, as I started walking down, it's like it was more than just physical. Like I was 27 at this point. We just won all the accolades at the job. So I was performing. I
mm-hmm.
was an individual performer with the whole group. Like we all, like the restaurant wasn't doing great before I was there. I get there, we turn the thing around, everything's great. Everybody wants Mr. Joe. And even when I even say Fat Joe, no one was calling me that but
Mm,
me.
mm,
No one was calling me Fat Joe but me.
mm. Whew.
So yeah, so that's what made me quit the job. It's like for me, it was a leap of faith because it's like I was doing comedy then too, and it's like, hey, guy, like I can't juggle this physical weight, this spiritual weight, this emotional weight of 100 people walking around saying Mr. Joe, Mr. Joe, Mr. Joe, and it's like I couldn't handle it. But on paper, hey, we got it going on. Like I got, you know what I'm saying? I'm staying with my partner, my roommate. We got a pool outside. We got whatever we
Oh,
want.
y'all had a pool?
Yeah, it was up, bro.
Oh, it was up.
But
It
like,
was up. It was up. Hold on. I wanna, there was something that you said because I think when we talk about repentance, like there are these micro moments that seem micro, but they're leading to shifts in your life. They're leading to you going from, we know ultimately you go from Fat Joe to Joe the trainer, but there's these like moments where it's like things that are happening that are literally reconsiderations. And so the first one I heard when you were sharing this is that you were saying that the weight of performing was causing you to put on weight on your body.
mm-hmm.
The weight of the success was being pushed into like physical weight to a heaviness that you were carrying, right? That to me is the first reconsideration, is the thought that you're going into this level of detail that's not just beating yourself up saying, why you eating like this? Why you don't stop eating? Why da 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 da? You saying you have an awareness, a new thought, a consideration that maybe I'm putting on weight because of this job that's supposed to be bringing me success. but it's adding something else to my life, right? And so that's a reconsideration. That's getting to the origin of the thought. That's root, not fruit work, right? Like, and so that then says first decision, first result of a repentance, a change in thinking is leave the job. This no longer means success to me anymore. Being successful financially, but getting overweight and obese physically, those two don't correlate. I need to change my thinking. Something is off with this, with this. And I don't know what it is, but I'm willing to leave it in order to figure out to get on this other journey. Right? Like, that's the first reconsideration. That's the first change in thinking. It's like maybe what I'm considering success is not success because of what I'm seeing the other costs are. So then, right, you get into this vibe, you get into this gym, then you have another moment where you're seen by people who are further along than you, who say, we see you, we see your heart, we see what, maybe spiritually even see your sacrifice, see that you're in here, see that you're trying, and says, come follow us, come join us, right? We'll show you the way. So keep going. So tell us kind of what happens there.
Yeah, and then they were great trainers because it's the same. You've experienced me training.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of giving me a whole list of things not to do,
Yeah.
like they took the time and they figured out me. Like it figured out me. So like, and I would walk into the gym and he'll be hooping. Like he'd always have Kobe's on. Both of us like the Lakers. So it's like we would play basketball, right? I love basketball. Like, I used to play basketball. So it's like instead of like he would be. What he was doing with me is basketball is the best cardio you can ever get. So we lifting weights, and then it's Joe. I bitch can't beat me in basketball. So now he's building in cardio. He's tailor making something that I already like. I love basketball. I love watching it. I love playing it. I even love playing video games with basketball. So it's like, so I got a trainer who saw what I like, studied me, saw what I like, and like gave me an environment that I didn't. First of all, I always liked lifting weights. So we're in the gym lifting weights, him and his wife, and we had another guy. We all like, working, and like he's pushing me. But then the thing that took me over the top was the cardio. It's like I'm lifting weights, getting it in, and then like he found out what I liked, and he found out how to push me, how to motivate me, and all those things. Instead of saying, here, you better eat like this, you better do like this. And he didn't say that because like he ate 5 small meals. For me, I'm like, bro, like I didn't have the capacity to eat five times a day. For me, it's like, hey, I needed to intermittent fast. Like, hey, I ain't gonna put nothing in my mouth until this time. And then for me, that's what worked. And he wasn't like, you better do this or you better do that. He was like, nah, man, hey, man, like, what works for you? And then he just like, hey, like, what do you like? I'm like, well, I like fries. Cool. Use an air fryer for those. Get you some potatoes, chop it up, throw it in the air fryer. I'm like, yeah. I said, all right, cool. Well, I like fried tilapia. Throw it in the air fryer. So it's like, that's another, all the reconsiderations, there's a few of them that you bring it out. It's like the reconsideration of the gym doesn't have to be boring. Change your thinking. Like you can do something you actually like. You like playing basketball, right? Then like fries aren't bad. Change my thinking around fries.
Right.
They're not bad. Like just get them in a way that is healthy.
Right. This is so good because again, when it comes to everything else, right? Especially when it comes to spiritual things, when we have that religious mindset, we don't have room for this tailor, like being led by the Spirit, right? The difference between the law, right, which was before Jesus, which was these are the rules you need to follow. So like when you talk about your trainer, you're talking about this idea of like you need to do this, you need to eat like this, you need to do 5 meals a day, you need to whatever, right? Like your trainer had enough awareness to know that might not work for everybody. That might not work for Joe. So instead, let me give you something to reconsider, to give you the spirit of the thing, right? Like you can do it like this, but let me tell you what's really important that's going to produce a change, which is you need to understand that like it's the way you're cooking your food that's
Jesus.
you need to reconsider, right?
Just cooking it, period. I was Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A.
Right. All right. Start cooking your food. Right. First step. Start cooking your food. Not going to get it because you don't know what they putting in it, what they find it in, all of that. So it's like that's what Jesus offers us, right? And we talk about grace. That's what grace is, right? If you need a practical understanding, if you need to reconsider what grace is saying, I'm not going to hit you over the head, right, with things that worked for or didn't work, or the things you're supposed to do. I'm not going to hit you over the head with the things you're supposed to do and trying to make you conform or even be in a uniform to what I'm doing. I'm going to show you a way that works for you. I'm going to help you change your thinking about it so you can make different decisions when you're on your own, right? That's being led by the Spirit. That's what Jesus came to model and to give us. That's why he fulfills the law. He's saying this is no longer, the training manual is no longer useful. I'm going to show you how to let the Spirit lead the reason why you do these things, right? Which gives you a different understanding of it. It's like, oh, it's not that the potatoes was bad, is that how I was making the potatoes was bad and how I was, right? It's like, it's not that the relationship with the girl is bad. It's like how to be in relationship with the girl is what he wanted to change. Right. And so it's like you can see all along. And so that's what grace is. Grace is saying, I know you're not going to get it right if I just give you this manual and tell you to go follow this. I know you're not going to get it right. So let me walk with you. Let me see you. Let me show you you. Let my spirit guide you and let me help you change from the inside out. Because you focus on getting the outside right. And I'm focused on getting the inside right, which is the reason why all this weight is on you in the first place.
Jesus.
That's the kind of God we serve. That's what repentance means through the lens of grace, right? Why grace is necessary. That's what grace looks like in real life when we look at this scenario, this training analogy, right? So, man, this is so good. So many moments of reconsideration even in your journey. And I know there's so much to it, but just wanted to illuminate some of those things in your story because that's what's always happening. And guess what? You're not judging yourself for those change your thinking moments. You're grateful.
Mm-hmm.
You're grateful for those moments. You're grateful for the reconsiderations. You're grateful that that trainer changed your thinking for the better.
Mm-hmm.